coming to dinner. Not the deadline.
Oh.
I don't know what that even was. Hi guys.
Hello.
So I am your co-host Azeb Mariam Freitas.
And I am your other co-host, Simon Petros Freitas.
Yeah, sometimes we say our whole names. And we are here for the Freitae Effect podcast.
Ooh.
Simon, you want to tell them who we are and why and where and when and how?
Yes. So, the Freitae Effect is a podcast about us, two American Ethiopian siblings who are trying to keep it real as we navigate adulthood and share things that affect our communities.
Amen. So welcome. Thank you for joining us if it's your first time or if it's your bajillionth time. This is episode 23.
Bajillionth.
Because we be out here. And so I just want to recap what our episode was last week, and it was about it's okay to be single. We talked about love languages. We talked about reality TV shows and their perceptions of relationships and love. We also talked about how we feel about PDA. We talked about our parents' love story and how you don't need someone to be happy and the reasons why it's completely fine to be single. So this week, you are here to hear about our 5-part series. So part 1 is Insecurities. This week we are focusing on fat shaming. So at a time when summer is upon us and nobody is bikini ready, we are discussing those moments of guilt or shame about your own physical self that probably inspired the body positivity movement. Go back and listen to episode 14?
12.
Episode 12. Sorry.
Not sorry.
And horse. As Simon and I literally just picked up a box of pizza before this to split with our parents from Mama Goo's in Cambridge. Bomb. We drove off to go home, and literally immediately as we drove past Mama Goo's, right behind it was a gym, and there was like this picture of this like white lady with abs, and it was basically like telling you like, why are you eating pizza, you fat shit? So we were just like talking about how like that was great product placement and market research, obviously, because in America you're just constantly reminded that you're not skinny enough. So we thought that that would be a perfect time for us to talk about this. So how about we get into
how the turns have tabled. Let's get into it. So, on this episode of How the Turns Have Tabled, I am not going too much into body shaming. I'm more talking about food accessibility and, the cultural dishes that you have around you. If this is your first time listening to the show, then I will just quickly explain that How the Turns Have Tabled is a plot twist section. It is a story section. It is a section when I just get to say the random shit that happens to me in my life, and Azeb might have some stories that are exactly similar but different. But this little story is when my mom was sending us off to college. She would always make Ethiopian food, and she would just beg us, like, what food do you want to send with you? Like, what do you need? Like, you're hungry, you're starving, you need tibs. And then it's like, all right, fine. If you're gonna make tibs and alecha and dorowet, like, I'm fine with that. So
you're like, free food, bet.
Yeah.
Cultural food, even better.
Since
seasoning, sis, bye.
For real, going to UNH and having literally just like chicken nuggets all the time.
They ain't gonna have no injera night, and I don't think you would want that. That would be ass. Please don't do that, any college or university person.
Unless you have habeshas, like, don't try.
Unless you hire literally like moms to be in the kitchen, or men, because men be chefing it up too. Then just don't do it.
But the first time I brought it up to UNH, it was my freshman year, obviously, and I brought it to the lounge with a water bottle full of wine because I was feeling a little risky. Disclaimer, don't do this, because just don't fucking do this, guys. But I was feeling a little risky and thinking everyone's at this hockey game. It's just stupid. But so I was eating, I was finishing up, like, I had this, like, water bottle open that had, like, still a nice amount of wine in it, and I'm starting to feel a little drunk, and my hands are a mess, my face is a mess, I'm just a mess, and...
because you have to eat injera with your hands in case you have never had Ethiopian food.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well just pause right now and just like order like from somewhere and figure it out, and then press play when you're done. Let us know how it was.
But so I'm sitting there and I'm an absolute mess, and everyone from the fucking dorm decides to walk in, and it's obviously a totally okay thing to do, and I'm making it sound like they're the devil, but
you were just really excited to be alone and drunk in a mess and like in public, but like not in your dorm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was channeling my inner Messica, and it was bad because everyone was so excited to come over and see the Ethiopian food and like smell it and be like,
because they were like, I've never seen such interesting exotic food in my life.
Exactly. And I was just like, oh yeah, it's called Tez. And I'm like, oh no, now I'm like wine breathing on top of everyone. And like an RA's like coming in, but like, they didn't actually come in. I was like, all right, as long as I'm just drunk around other people, this is safe. But that's a little secret on the inside. As long as there's no RA around, then you're not gonna get in trouble. But really, guys, it's not fucking worth it. Don't be drunk in the middle of a lounge. It's just so dumb. Like stupid freshman Simon. No. But we have learned, and now I only eat Ethiopian food with wine when it's legal because I'm over 21.
But yeah, so thank you for that story, Simon. That was funny. How about we take a break?
Oh, let's do it.
All right, bye guys. See you soon.
Do you listen to the Freitae Effect podcast?
Who? Me? Why, yes. Yes, I do.
Well, come hither. A bit closer, dearie. Yes. Well, they happen to be celebrating their 1-year anniversary.
Well, are they really? How are they going to do that? Because coronavirus. Bum, bum, bum!
Well, I heard they are actually having a virtual summer spectacular. Shh.
When is this event happening?
Apparently, it's expected to occur on Friday, June 19th at 7:30 on the night of the dark moon.
How peculiar. Well, you've piqued my interest. Where do I go to reserve a spot?
One should find the Eventbrite on their social media accounts to purchase a ticket.
Is there any cost to this summer spectacular?
Yes, I believe it's a minimal fee of $5, and then a WebEx link will mysteriously appear in your email closer to Friday, June 19th.
How intriguing. Do you know of anyone that is going?
Why, yes, of course. I heard from a source that their guests from the first season will be there attending, and not only that, but some might be performing.
Riveting!
There will also be giveaways.
Oh my!
And murder.
Lord heavens, no!
Just poking a bit of fun, old chap.
Oh, goodness.
No murder. But I'm sure it'll be a splendid summer spectacular.
Well, I'm charmed.
Can't wait to see you there.
You as well. And we are back. Simon is going to lead us in this week's main topic. So, let's get it, baby.
Yes. So, I am just gonna give you guys another little disclaimer, another little heads up, more tidbits into my life.
Pew, 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 pew,
blah, blah. So, when I was a child, when I was a young warthog, I was morbidly obese. I was literally chub.
Throwback to nutrition class.
Your chub nutritional term.
But can we pause for a second?
Yeah.
Let's remember I was fat before you were.
Mm-hmm.
So throwback, obviously I'm older, duh. So I had the opportunity to be fatter than Simon.
The opportunity.
Before he was fat, okay?
Yep.
So let's remember, I was the fat one first. It's fucking important. I went through a lot of shit, all right?
Yeah.
All that trauma deserves to be recognized.
But then
I was once fucking fat, too.
When it all crossed over.
And then we
came to
transitioned.
me.
It was around the time we were 12 when we were like the same height and the same weight.
Yep.
And we were like, this is a moment in period in time in our life.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny. And then we were like, so this is when the transition's happening, because Simon started gaining weight and I started losing weight. So we were like, we know what's happening.
Yep. And it was just, it just didn't stop until I turned like 20.
But it was only because I got taller.
Was it though?
I don't know. Was I eating better?
fat
I don't
because
think
you
so.
got taller?
I mean, I'm talking about how I lost weight. I don't know what you were doing. That was a weird time. But anyways, we're back at that time period.
Yep, so we're slowly switching back.
We're both like at a medium place right now. But this is what I'm talking about. Like in America, like it's so common for people to just like connect over their fat shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally. Even
everyone's always like even in Mean Girls, it's like, oh my god, my cankles. Oh my god, I'm so fat. Like that's how girls become friends, is by obsessing over their weight. It's fucking sad, yo.
I mean, even at my last job, like I was saying, like, yo, I used to be morbidly obese, and this chick was like, yo, me too, and we were literally just showing each other like pictures of us back when we were at our heaviest, and it's just like. I understand, like, the whole, like, now we have kangaroo pouches that no one else fully understands unless you're fat. Unless you were fat. When I was fat. But, back when I was fat, because I still am, I am
I feel like
me.
this should be a song.
Back when I was fat. Anyways.
I'm not going to go off. I'm going to hold it.
Yeah. I experienced fat shaming. We're just going to jump to it. So,
I, too.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, even if you're not,
raise your hand.
But even if you're not, but even if you're not like actually like obese, or if you're overweight, or you just feel insecure about like your weight in general, or how you look and your roles, or if you're insecure about like being too skinny, like that's a real thing too, is like always being called a twig, or being like concerned like if you haven't eaten enough, and like people asking you, did you eat today, or telling you to go eat something, you know what I mean? Like it's constant, and it's like that's how all these disorders are formed, and how they happen, and how people go from extremes of being super fat to super skinny. Like there's no learning how to have a well-balanced diet, and how to just like listen to your body's cravings instead of creating these bad habits, Nutritional education. I went through so much of that stuff when I was a child. Baby. But we will get into my trauma after this article. So, this article is from the New York Times. It is called... Okay, pause.
What?
What's up with this accent?
I can do whatever I want. So
okay, Mr. New York Times, I'm very excited to hear it.
Back on Wall Street. God, so it is by, nervous. If you like Gina Colada, her name is Gina Colada. The article is called "The Shame of Fat Shaming."
Like if I went to Dunkin' Donuts and was like, I want a Gina Colada.
Yes, they would say, get caught in that rain. Also, for all the viewers at home, it's pouring goddamn cats and dogs and buckets right now, and thunder and lightning. So if you hear any, then that is what it is. So
that was a lot.
It is a lot, and it's happened. So I'm gonna slip out of this accent and slip into
I was like, dude, you're stuck.
I know it happens.
He's back though. He's back.
Yes.
Welcome back, Simon.
We're in the present moment, where Gina Colada talks about American fat shaming and especially the effects of it. The ways that they affect us as human beings growing up throughout our childhood. Why am I slipping into accents? Throughout our childhood.
It's just so hard, man.
And then like as an adult. So there's different forms of it that she discusses. One of them that I recognized, within myself was greeting cards that have they're considered humorous because they have an obese person in like a Speedo on the beach or something, or it's just like it'll have a larger person on it, especially when it's a more funny aimed card, like when it's more directed to make people laugh.
It's always like the person who's the comedic relief is the fat person. Yeah.
So it's like it shows how that's just the American standard. Like, it's like, okay, if you're fat, you're probably going to be funny, or like
because
you have to have
being
this
funny
extra thing.
Is also like a character trait of not being attractive. Yeah. It's just like constantly reminding you like fat people are not the answer. Or like it's funny if a fat person has a romantic interest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, why is that funny? Fat people are people. Literally. People are just fat. That's it.
They're just people with excess tissue flubs. So, she talks about in your childhood, the most common reason why children are bullied is for being obese. And I gotta say right there, I got the first-hand experience. It was real fun in gym class, seeing everyone, be able to do the President's Fitness test and then get into that pull-up bar.
That is the worst. Because even as a girl, bro, and you have to do it, and guys are already like, this bitch isn't going to be able to do it because she's a girl. But, like, being fat and a girl, you're like, fuck, man. Like, I'm already super insecure. You know what I mean?
Oh,
you're just like, ugh.
Or, like, when you had to run back and forth across the gym for 6 minutes and you've never run.
Yeah, it's like putting you on blast. And also, like, your gym teacher doesn't even help you prepare for that test.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
They just tell you
They
it's
just drop it on you. They're like, all right, President's test today. What the hell? So why? You can hang these scores up of which class is fatter than the other class.
Seriously.
For all of us to drag each other? That's not inspirational. That's not motivation. That's not comfortable at all to teach kids health and wellness and nutrition. What is wrong with y'all?
And also, these kids are getting it from all ends. Like, they're getting it from their teachers. They're getting it from their classmates. They're getting it especially from their parents and their family. So how are they supposed to be, like... How are they expected to be supported in any way about losing weight or looking at food in a positive manner when you're constantly just being told that you're wrong with what you do with your fucking body? So, it's no bueno, but is also not only in the United States. It's same thing. These studies were found similarly in Canada, Australia, and Iceland. But I do gotta say, as Azab has mentioned, women have it a lot harder than men. So, this might have been obvious for, like, you woke biddies, but, like, for biddies who ain't woke, women got it real hard. Like, really bad.
It sucks to be a woman sometimes.
So, literally they say that they get it almost 3 times as much, like, 3 times as much shit for this compared to when men are considered obese. And the standard for men is when you look like you are obese. Like, for a woman, you could be skinny, but everyone's calling you fat and obese and, like, all this shit because of your weight or, like, your literal number on the scale. Like, I remember I was watching the show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and the way that they broke into someone's safe was they guessed her goal weight to lose, like, to be able to lose her weight to be, like, 113 pounds. And it's just like, yes, like, this is understanding, like, the culture and, like, the norms of, like, people who do yoga and, like, I don't know, it's not like a stereotype for people who do yoga, but, like, the idea of these fitness queens and, like, these, like, people who have to be literally 0% body fat just to be beautiful, and it's not real. Like, you can be a human being and have fat and not be fat. Like, you are not the fat that you have, guys. Yes. So don't be overwhelmed when you don't look like a Greek fucking god. Like, no one is sculpting you. You are not stone. And if you are stone, get that checked. And all these ideas come from these movies that we watch and all this shit that just makes us hate ourselves. But it also makes us hate other people, which sucks, because we hate ourselves so fucking much for being fat. We see fat people and go, they have problems. They got issues. I don't want to be around them. They're going to make me fat. They're going to make my kids fat. No, that's not right. You got to go be friends with fat people and be like, yo, I got fat. And they'll be like, yo, I got a lot more fat. But they'll be like, yo, we both are human. It's like, shit, I didn't know that. like, it's not that hard, guys. Like, just because people have things does not make them those things. So, we're going to keep plowing through this article. I'm just going to end it on how when people are concerned about your health, they do their best to try to help you, but things don't always come out in the best way. So there are public health campaigns that contribute to fat shaming, and it's sad, but it's just the uninformed population that's really trying to do something good and ends up hurting people. And even in this article, like, the lady writes, like, fat kids and fat people and, like, all this stuff.
Yeah, like, her vocabulary was horrible, and I was like, are you fat, sis? I don't want to read this anymore, unless you are, because I want to hear a fat person's perspective. Yeah,
and it's like, a few times I see it, like, I saw her writing, like, people who are fat, and when I was in school for social work, we learned you're a person first. So you
that's
never,
right.
Yeah, so you never say a homeless person, a drug addict. It's a person experiencing this, a person with this. Like, you're always the person first. So when you write fat kids instead of children who are experiencing obesity, or children who
are overweight.
Weight issues, who are overweight, like any kind of like insecurities about their weight, like that kind of thing, where there's a child first.
Instead of just saying the offensive shit.
Because they're a child. Are you gonna say this to a child's face? Probably. And then it's gonna ruin them. Trauma.
Let's be better people.
Yeah, and
better people.
I don't know, it kind of makes, like, the way that we talk about it, it almost makes it sound like losing weight and, you know, your weight in general is just a matter of your willpower, instead of taking in all the factors that contribute to your weight gain or your weight loss. Like depression. Because depression's real, y'all. And then access to food, and like your bodily functions that are out of your control, like having a slow metabolism, or like getting pregnant, or and like then not being able to lose the weight.
Yeah, or having like a thyroid problem.
Yeah.
You know? Like, or just being stressed the fuck out.
Yeah. If you can't quit a job and then you're overeating because you want to compensate for like that love that you're not getting from your fucking job, then you can't blame yourself for having a shitty fucking job until you leave it. And then you're like, why'd I get that job?
You just don't have time because you just throw yourself into everything. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that can happen. Is like from you avoiding like working out and all that shit, but like, you know, like life be happening and it be hard, y'all.
Yeah.
Also, if you didn't grow up in a home where it was normalized for healthy eating habits and for like exercise and moving, you know, like if you didn't grow up with your dad waking up every day at 6 o'clock to go for a jog around the block for 30 minutes, and like your mom goes to aerobics class at 5 p.m. after she picks you up, you know what I mean? Like that's not everybody's fucking reality, you know?
Yeah.
Some people don't even know about yoga until they go to college. And some people
real.
Don't even go to college, so come on, man. Yeah.
So it's just exposure, and then also that brings me into my Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of the word food deserts. So accessibility is also a very big part of why people have so many issues with weight. Food deserts are areas where little fresh produce is available for sale. It's, you know, growing up in Everett, it really, like, thinking back on it, we would go to the convenience stores a lot, and there was never, like,
there was never healthy food
produce.
In there.
Like, Dunkin' Donuts nowadays, I've started seeing bananas there, and that's, like, really smart, because, you know, just, if I'm hungover and I'm going to Dunk's for coffee, a banana is a lot healthier than a fucking donut.
Yeah, major facts.
Yeah, and thanks Michelle Obama for that, but, like, you took the Pepsi out of my high school. But anyways, so...
Real.
But... yeah, it's just whatever is around you, whatever you have money to afford to buy, like, it's so many factors that go into how...
But I mean, it's also, like, what chains are around you. Like, after, like, when we were in high school, right? Like, around us, there was always a Pizza Hut, a Dunkin's, a Chinese restaurant, and, like... all Burger King, you know what I mean? There wasn't like a Sweet Green or a Banh Mi or a Cocoa Leaf. Like there wasn't like places that had like healthy food. There like Panera was all the way by Target.
Yeah,
and
also,
it was
expensive.
Like, so it's also like, you know, not only is it locationally not accessible because they think that minorities or like people of color, etc., aren't going to go to these places, so they like target places like Newton and Watertown. Like that's what leads to us not having, like, as an example of not having access to food, you know?
Yeah.
That is nutritious.
Yep. Yes. So think about that shit before you start forcing people to eat the shit that you have and being like, yo, think of that little kid in Africa, because you know what? Maybe your food sucks, and that little kid in Africa wouldn't eat it anyways.
Yeah, honestly,
but like,
because sometimes the little kids in Africa have better food than you do.
Yeah, but we just gotta be mindful of the shit that we do and, like, what we have access to, how people are, like, you know, how we're raising our kids or how we're interacting with people who are our kids. Like, I have children. I
have children.
But
not real children.
Just being aware
they
of that kind
babies,
of thing.
Though,
since obesity is, you know, obesity is real. Like, experiencing it sucks. Trying to lose weight sucks a lot. Like, eventually when you are able to figure out what works for your body, because your body's different than everyone else's body.
Yep.
But it's all just going to come from you. There's going to, like, it's not going to be like some random day something switches. It's going to be like your whole life of trying different shit out and then finding your best practices and sticking to your, you know, your own thing. Because if you eat a donut one day it doesn't ruin your whole fucking day. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you can still love yourself and say, God damn it, I need a Boston cream because I almost got fired today. And like, that's, it's not okay that you almost got fired, but it's okay to eat a Boston cream. Like, and you'll figure
everything
out.
in moderation, y'all.
Yeah.
Self-control is a fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
God damn. Yeah, Simon, like, as you talked about being, like, obese in your youth, like, it just reminds me of, like, the idea of beauty standards for men. And, like, growing up, like, I never thought about, like, what y'all have to go through. Because I'm always just, like, for girls, like, everyone's always like, oh, my God, I just want to have, like, a big butt and titties. And it's just, like, in a flat stomach. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, okay, like, and that's what leads to us all being like, I hate myself. Because those are, like, not unattainable, but, like, you should appreciate whatever shape your fucking body is because it's probably fucking beautiful. And also, like, you'd be surprised, like, whoever you're attracted to probably doesn't care as much as you fucking think because you're the only person that actually knows all of what you feel insecure about your entire body. And that person probably doesn't even see half of those things that you're imagining. But anyways, it was funny because yesterday I was virtually watching a movie with my babies that I babysit sometimes, Nebu and Rakeb. Love you guys. And we were watching this movie Descendants, which is like some Disney movie or whatever. And there was a scene where the main character takes his shirt off to go swimming and he has like washboard abs. And I'm like, this kid's supposed to be like 15 years old. And all these 9-year-old kids are watching this movie being like, now I need washboard abs. So I paused the movie as soon as I saw this kid with abs. And I was like, Nebu, do you hear me? And he was like, yes. And I was like, listen to me very clearly. He was like, okay. And I was like, you do not need abs. You are perfect the way you are. You are beautiful. I just need you to know that you do not need to think that you need abs to be a beautiful, handsome person. Okay? And he was like, okay. And I was like, you got that? And he was like, I mean, I probably will have abs because, like, I work out. And I was like, oh, my God, Nebu. Okay, fine. I'm just saying, like, you don't need them, you know?
Yeah.
That's so funny. I was like, dude.
Oh, I love them.
I probably will.
Yes, I love the confidence. Like, that's what you need to have when you're not. You're like, yo, I'm gonna have abs.
Like, well, like, I work out.
Yo, do you even lift, bro? Like, come on.
I was like, bet. So I ain't
Hand me
shit.
that Lego.
Cool.
Like,
mad funny, bro. But yeah, let's
take a break.
Do you have anything or
No, I love them. I wanna end on Nebu before the break.
Okay, sweet. Let's take a break.
Dad jokes, notes and quotes. Dad jokes, notes and quotes. Dad jokes, notes and quotes. By Scott Freitae.
So this is, guess which one is from a country song. Okay, so here's number one. I'm a white guy and I'm blacker than you. Number two, biology just doesn't give a fig. Number three, there ain't nothing that a bear can't fix.
The last one.
Number 3.
Definitely.
Okay, you got it.
Yay!
Okay, here's the next one. Money over choice. I'm gonna jump in her pussy like a lake. I'm chasing you like a shot of whiskey.
What was the first one?
Money over choice?
Money over choice, yeah.
It was the third one then.
Yes, it was. I'm chasing you like a shot of whiskey. It was not I'm jumping into her pussy like a lake. Okay. Okay. And if you want to have hair like mine, you never will. That's number one. I put a big down payment on that itty bitty ring. And number 3, he's the wrong kind of black.
All of them.
No, you have to choose one. You have to choose one.
Number 1.
Asib?
Can you repeat them?
Yeah. If you want to have hair like mine, you never will. Number 2, I put a big down payment on that itty bitty ring. And number 3, he's the wrong kind of black.
The second one?
Yep.
I thought it was gonna be a plot twist. It's the key takeaways. Yeah. Welcome back, guys. Thank you for listening to this whole episode. And
Jesus Christ, y'all.
We're falling apart.
Really, thank you for sticking it through because, wow, we're a mess.
Yeah.
But it's okay. We're here together on this moment.
Yes.
Ja Rastafari. So, no, don't do it. All right, so, keys to take. The first key. You don't need abs to be beautiful. That's all I got. Simon's going to bring it home.
Alrighty. So, I guess the other key to be taking right now is just ding-a-ling. Be mindful of how you address other people's weight. I know that sounds obvious, but just for real, guys, like, you know, sometimes you think that you're comfortable with someone, that it's okay. Like, if someone loses weight, like, just stray away, as I've said on the show multiple times, really try not to say, you look so much better now. Because that implies that they looked horrible when they were fat. And that's, you know, it doesn't make anyone feel good about if they ever gain weight in the future.
Yeah. Also, don't be too excited that they lost weight. Don't be like, oh my God, you lost weight. Like, dude, that doesn't make anyone feel better. That just makes them feel like you didn't value them when they were fat.
And that they have to maintain this weight or continue to lose weight in order to get your approval.
Right.
And it's sick. Like, you know, you can just be you, guys. Also,
or, like, just constantly talking about your weight, it makes other people uncomfortable too.
Yeah, and if someone is overweight, don't fucking bring it up unless they do. And even if they do, don't make a joke out of it. Like, you know, it's like their comfortability about their weight is their own, and it's not on you. No one would ever talk about, like, you being fat, and if they do, they're not your friend and cut them the fuck out.
Yeah, because
but
that's
like,
not safe.
It's no bueno. So it's obvious. Like, if it's not obvious, you need something that I can't give you on this episode. But
yeah, also, if somebody breaks up with you because you got, quote unquote, too fat, they never were worth your time to begin with.
That's sad.
Because that's literally fucking disgusting.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
People are horrible.
People suck.
Although, we don't have to be horrible. And one way that we can is to be better friends to each other. So, if your friends are self-deprecating, I mean, in general, but especially about their weight and how fat they are, how ugly they are, that kind of thing, just be supportive of their positive traits, because continuing self-hate it's never beneficial. Like, if I'm saying I'm so stupid, spiral, I'm so ugly, yeah, it doesn't make anyone, like, you might laugh for a second so that you're not uncomfortable, because obviously you wouldn't be friends with this person if you thought they were ugly and stupid and horrible. But, like, I mean, you might, but then it's like, what, are you real friends? You guys gotta evaluate relationships. But the main point is just no self-deprecation, guys. Like, self-love. That's what we need to start spreading, because there's always more to you than your body image.
But honestly, it's not easy to get to this part. It's not easy to be at the part of, I'm just going to stop hating how I look, and I'm just going to stop pinching the fat on my stomach that I have, and, like, being uncomfortable with my rolls as I sit down and see how they, like, fit over my jeans, or just all of that. You know what I mean? You have to get over the part of all those things that you feel about yourself to get to the beautiful part. Yeah. You can start by literally just, like, writing down on a piece of paper all the things that you hate about yourself. And then once all of that is out of your brain, you'll get to the good part, because you'll be forced to face nothing else except for how you actually feel about yourself. Yeah. And, like, what things you're proud of about yourself, you know? Not everything is about your fucking body image. There is so much value to you and your spiritual and physical existence cohesively. But also, like, you know, you are a spirit. Like, you are a soul. You are literally a floating enigma in this, like, temple that we're using to pick things up and consume. You know what I mean? It's just a placeholder of, like, our knowledge and our ability to communicate with each other. Ooh, hashtag deep.
Wow, that was existential as fuck.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sorry, I be depressing sometimes.
Existential Isaac.
And meta.
Whoa.
What's even going on?
It's going.
You know, it'd be coming in waves sometimes.
Waves.
Anyways, are we done with the keys?
These keys are gone. They've been tooketh.
Okay, by the way, fly keys.
Fly like a bird.
All right. Any announcements, fam?
I just want to announce that I'm really fucking hot. Like, it's so hot. We're under a blanket so that there's better sound quality, and it's worth it, but it's hot.
It's hot.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do this sign off then, because I don't have anything to say, darlings.
Nothing. Short episode.
Be
What do they gotta do, Azam?
I was just about to say it.
All right.
Tell me.
So, they got to be sure to like the episode.
Share with friends.
And follow on social media. Subscribe.
And comment.
On
SoundCloud.
Follow.
On Spotify.
And Apple Podcasts.
Or wherever the hell you stream us.
Email us. Or
comment on social media.
Or leave a review with any feedback.
Affirmations or topics that you want to hear.
On the show at thefreightesfact@gmail.com.
Thank you so much for dealing with our bullshit.
And have a great rest of your life.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.